Our third presenter is Visoth Chhay. He was born during the Khmer Rouge regime, and he graduated from the Faculty of Archaeology in 2012. He worked for 5 years as an archaeologist before he moved to work with the National Museum of Cambodia for another 8 years. At the moment, he currently works for the Tuol Sleng Genocide Museum as a director. Visoth Chhay's title will be The Role and Importance of the Tuol Sleng Genocide Museum for a Memory of the Past. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. First of all, I would like to thank for the foundation that allowed me this opportunity, and thank you to Nayat for giving or consider me as a speaker to join this panel. And also thank to the College of Foundation who organized this to make it happen. And before I go to my talk about the role and the importance of Tuol Sleng Genocide Museum for the memory of the past, I would like to remind that what I'm going to talk is not an academic base, but it is a description what we are working at the museum. And please keep in mind that we opened this museum for almost 40 years, but we don't have local expert in museum field or curators. So let me introduce you about the museum history. In between 1962 to 1975, this museum, it is not designed for the prison, but it's the former structures of the colonial school, similar to French, because we are under the control of French more than 100 years. And then in 1975 to 1979, it was transformed to be the prison. But again, it's not only the 4 main buildings that we occupy at the moment, but the surrounding almost half kilometers of the whole surrounding area of the current building. I'm sorry, I don't show the map, anything. But in 1979, early of 1979, after the liberation of the United Fronts for National Salvation of Cambodia and Vietnamese. And then we started to open that as a space for commemoration or for the museum for public. 3 months immediately that the government decided to allow visitor and also delegation to visit it, but not yet official open. So recently, we opened it for many years, but just when I was the director, and then we tried to think about the vision and mission 5 years ago. And this is a new mission and vision that we are applying for this museum. For our vision, Tuol Sleng Genocide Museum look forward to be a peaceful and stable Cambodia, in which, as a historical museum, it has helped the society to recover from the pain and suffering of the decades of war and genocide. Mission Tuol Sleng Genocide Museum aims to serve as a place of reflections and education by preserving and presenting evidence of the past prison system and keeping alive the memory of the victim, more than the 18,000 who perished under the regime of the Khmer Rouge Democrat. And as I mentioned, in order to achieve this, we are trying to shape our work as a place for education, reflection, remembrance, and healing, and for justice. This is what we try our best in order to make it happen through our human resources, limited human resources, finance, and our knowledge. So when we are talking about the place for education, we try several activities or programs for implementations, but two big activities that we are working, one for internal activity and outreach program. For outreach program, we just started to give hands to the young Cambodian people. You know, recently when since the time that I was appointed to be the director, I have seen the statistic that very low local or Cambodian people, especially for students who come to visit the museum. And that's why our team put our concerns in order to find way to deal with this. So we have thought that if they don't come, we need to go to approach them. And that's why we are preparing all of this program, to reach them. And our two outreach program, we just go to the private school. We start with the private school. It's much more convenient for us to communicate with them. And then we just send our team to teach them about the general history of the Khmer Rouge and also about the history of former prison F-21s that we run at the moment. And then we invite them to visit the museum. And also we bring our mobile exhibition at the same time to reach the private, or also recently we can reach public school. After the long negotiation, and we have an agreement from the Ministry of Education in order to allow us to work to run our 5-year project with them. At the same time, for our internal program, we also care about offerings the other program to them. For example, we create an activity room, because when we get the feedback from the student, they said, it's too boring, I don't want to go. But the same guy, the same content, exhibition, nothing new for me to learn. And that's why we are thinking about that, and we just create the activity room. We try to integrate the content of the other view that happened during the Khmer Rouge time. For example, evacuation, the life of the prisoner, about the reunification of the family after the Khmer Rouge, so on and so forth. So we try to create these kinds of activity for them. And at the same time, as you can see, orientation, we offer orientation for 15 minutes or 10 minutes, it depends on their own time. And also we produce like a temporary exhibition. Even we are not an expert, we try our best in order to do it. Because we just don't wait to have enough expert and enough finance to do it. So we started with our own pace. So yeah, again, and we try to use the interview of the some people to collect the information for our exhibition, and also we just to integrate art as a mechanism to approach the young Cambodian people to, again, all of these purpose not for foreigner at all, it's just for local Cambodian people. And then we also run a peace workshop building, poem chanting competition, and basic research methodologies. We have thought that Cambodians should start to think about, to write about their own history by themselves, not foreigner, who the one who try to tell what happened in Cambodian society. But that's why we offer this basic research training to university students in order to let them think, sit down and write something. Even it's not a good academic result, but at least we start to write our history as a poem way or as the research way. And so this is some activity that we offer recently, and as you can see here, it's something like they present the research outcome to the other the public people. So yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have much time, that's why I need to go very fast. And what I like the most about the Peace Workshop building, that we would like to see this as an annual event for the museum, because I like it because this special Peace Workshop, it gives opportunity to different participants from different background of villages. Buddhism, Pashu, majority, Christian, and also Islam. So we put our concerns about this. We just want them to understand each other's, to live in a harmonious societies. We also allow them to visit the historical site during the Khmer Rouge time, also the former prison, to let them get a chance to talk with the local villagers outside the city, to communicate, to have a dialogue between the young to those who came through the Khmer Rouge period. I think this is a very great program that we offer. So we also run this is a part of the non-permanent exhibition that we display. And what I loved the most last year, we worked with the children for Angka. Angka referred to the term organization, and this term is very powerful during the Khmer Rouge. They can use this term to execute people. So we just told about the life of the Cambodian people during the Khmer Rouge time to public. And also this is a part of our mobile exhibition. And also you can see the middle slide here. It's about the activity of the student. We go to teach at the, sorry, which one? We go to teach at school. And recently, we just keep eye on the public events in Phnom Penh City. And we have sent our team to install the exhibition, mobile exhibition, in reading day or book fair day, because thousands of young Cambodian people, they attend that. And that's why we take this opportunity to expose ourselves into the context of young Cambodian people. And then we also think about our function, our role as a place for reflection. Of course, we are running this site on the authentic, by authentic material or object. Object refers to the building, the site itself, and also the remains. In our permanent exhibition, we have some bone, bed, torture, tool, clothes, and then also daily use and graffiti. I know bone is not a good topic to be discussed about dignity, but it's not Cambodian context. It's not the right time yet, to stop of showing bone inside of our museum. I think we need time to take consideration about this. This is a big discussion in Cambodian context. And then we also own some, archive, which photo that can tell about the difficulty of the victims who were detained in the prisons. And the most important thing, we still have survived. At the moment, we have 3 survivors, 2 older survivors, and 1 is a younger survivor, who can meet and talk with visitors to share their own experience. So this is the place where the student can go and think about what happened. And then, as you can see here, this is the graffiti that left by the victims, during that time. And our team tried to observe it. Thousands of graffiti that we can find from the victims and also from the former Khmer Rouge themselves, the security guard. So, I'm sorry, I need to go. And at the same time, it also works as a place for healing and justice. Why? We own many original documents from the life from the Khmer Rouge, as a part of confession and biography, notebook, experimentation, or the notebook for the military work. And we have all of this. These big piles of evidence that we use for searching truth or justice. And we offer the floor for public talk and testimony to the young, to the Cambodian who came through the Khmer Rouge time, to have a chance to talk with visitor and local student. We also give floor to run the ceremony. As you can see here, a few ceremony. This is mostly with the Buddhism because we are Buddhism, and that's why we base on the concept of religious, to heal. We believe that we can, through these kinds of ceremony, we can save the merit to the wandering soul inside the site or the other at the killing field. for those who haven't, because we believe that we're going to be rebirthed after death. So that's why our merit would help them to rebirth soon. So, and then the last point, it's about our function as a place for remembrance. We have some, this is the information, we build some stupa or memorial, and we have a special day, the day of remembrance at the moment, 20 of May. We also offer like a wishing tree that can give a chance to the visitor to express their concept or their wishing to them. I'm sorry, I need to go fast. And then this is the history of the construction of the memorial site. And then now, the 20th of May has become the international, it became the holiday of Cambodian. It is a part of the reparation project through the court. This is a history, and then I just show you quickly about that. And this is the last memorial monuments that belong to the reparation project of K001 that accused Deutsch as the director of this prison. And this is also another event that we offer. We try to check through the execution list, and we find out the date of he or she who was executed, and then we just commemorate. We just write, if we can find the confession document, we're going to write the text, and then we invite the monk to bless for them. So we also conserve all of these documents and textile and metal conservation. This is the 20th of May for remembrance. And then briefly, achievement. I just would like to read this before I finish it. One of the most attractive, museum is one of the most attractive tourist destinations in Phnom Penh. Last year, we have about 52,000 of visitors. And then in the last 4 years, Tuol Sleng Museum involved directly with more than 30% among 1.8 million visitors through audio tour services, personal tour guide, and also other programs that we offer. Increasing the local visitor, especially students. I'm very happy to see this statistic from 3% up to 15%. This is what I really happy with this outcome. And more than 194 activity programs were proposed over 4 years, and more than 90%, all of them that we are running smoothly since 2015. We publish brochure and book, and also we have several collaboration projects with local and international level. 2 big projects that we are running at the moment through the support of U.S. Embassy grant, and also KOICA Korea through UNESCO for preserving textile and digitization, all the projects. Soon, next year, it would be available for public access for all documents. I'm talking not 100, but the majority of the documents would be accessed through the database. And this is only the statistic, of the visitor throughout the last 4 years. And then you can see domestic visitor and international, less than 20%, So, and then the other chart is about the number of the students increasing from year by year. So, and then we are happy with this statistic. The number of the people, using the audio tool is a lot. And we got a very good feedback, especially from the TripAdvisor regarding to our site, So again, all of these pillars of reflection, education, healing, and remembrance, we expect, to raise the awareness of the past history. And we are looking forward a peaceful and stable society. So thank you so much for your attention.